Hello and welcome to Modern Programming Paradigms and You. I'm Tyler Burrows and I'll be teaching you about modern programming paradigms. Programming languages have come a long way since the invention of C and the early Linux kernels. In the beginning, all coding had to be done in binary strictly. That means all zeros and ones, a language the computer can actually understand. Today, however, we have created many programming languages and compilers which can compile the code that we write into binary so that the computer can understand our programming. We have even come so far as to create editors that aid us in writing the languages that we use to code in our compilers. These include programs such as NetBeans and Komodo Edit. Now that you have a brief history, we'll talk a bit more about the most modern of programming practices. The first thing we'll be talking about is paired programming. Paired programming is the collaboration of two programmers working together on one project. One programmer will handle the actual coding, while the other programmer will watch over that programmer's shoulder, ensuring he doesn't make mistakes, while at the same time planning ahead for future development and for any changes that may need to be made to the software. This essentially allows one programmer to focus his entire attention on the code while the other programmer focuses on error checking and being a safety net. These programmers will often switch roles in this system. Next, we'll be talking about functional programming. Functional programming treats computation as the evaluation of mathematical functions and avoids state and mutable data. Functional programmers will essentially build an entire program out of mathematical formulas that can only produce one result every time. This eliminates side effects that could come from changes in state in the program and makes the data only dependent on the equations involved in the development of the program. Functional programming's roots lie in lambda calculus, a formal system developed in the 1930s to investigate computability. Functional programming languages, however, are typically much less efficient than their use of CPU and memory than other imperative languages such as C and Pascal. Finally, we'll be talking about object-oriented programming. Object-oriented programming is essentially the departmentalizing of subroutines and other modules created through other programming languages that function together and each can inherit things from a parent class. The system is made up of things called class files, which act as parent files, and objects, which inherit traits and other code routines from the parent file. For example, if I had a class file called pizza, there may be several objects created from that class file, such as deep dish pizza, thin crust pizza, or Chicago style pizza, all that inherit traits from the parent class but aren't exactly the same as each other. Today, object-oriented programming is in many of our most complex programming devices, such as ATM machines, video games, and even Android apps. And that concludes our discussion of modern programming paradigms. And here's a video.
So I'm assuming y'all don't want my old PDA, huh?
No, but I'll take that fine-ass belt holster. What I got a mask to make it do?
Well, just press this button here. Whoa, sorry about that, Rusty. That's my private collection of erotica.
Is that what that is?
Forgot that was on there.
Haul it to the landfill. It ain't welcome amongst us.
Early today's world runs on computers. If Rusty has a mind for this, he might even be counting in a few years.
Numbers. Numbers? Numbers was created by the prehistoric Hispanics so they could thieve all the jobs from the Romans. Dinosaurs, too. Hell yeah.
Dinosaurs what?
Computers, yeah. Romans.
Look, all I'm saying is it might help the boy get a job one day.
He don't need no job. He got him a trade.
Stay clear